Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream, guys. Today we're talking about, and we'll. I don't know if we're gonna be in the world of Ashes of Creation. We're not really gonna play so much. I'm gonna show some things, but yeah, we're gonna talk about Ashes of Creation. Let me make sure I got my chat bot going on. And you guys have asked me about this. I have talked about it before, and yeah, we need an update. Is essentially what's going on. I've taken some time to look back into it a bit and see where things are going. And the short answer is not great. I'm trying to think of exactly where we want to start. But the TLDR is, man, if I were to just put it really plainly, I think the game is DOA, is what I think. I know that there are some huge Ashes of Creation fanboys out there, just like there were last time I gave my honest opinion on the game, who will be outraged and will tell me how wrong I am. Go for it, I guess. But yeah, I just want to chat about it a little bit. We're going to load in here to a server. So, I'm trying to think of exactly where to start and what to say. So, Ashes of Creation, this is not the original plan. What has happened here is not the original plan. Back in like 2020, I want to say, which was before I was covering it, but I did go back and watch those live streams. Steven Sharif, the owner of the company and the guy, creative director and everything, said, that they would not be selling the game. The game was not going to sell for a initial sale price. That it was only going to be a subscription game, and that was a core part about the game that was really important. And if I pull up Steam here and we go to the store and we type in Ashes of Creation, hey, what do you know? A $40 price tag. For one reason or another, suddenly the game is being sold for $50, and it's still in alpha. And if you think, that's not good, but maybe not like a huge red flag. Remember, the game is this game is not finished. We're going to go through all of the ways that the game is just not a game, for the most part. If we go down here, we can see that there it is. Guys, they've got a cash shop already. You can buy cosmetics for a game that isn't a real game yet. Okay? The other thing about the pricing in Steam in particular is that, we talked to Luna, who's been playing this, and she picked it up. She lives outside of the U.S., and they're doing regional pricing. So the price you can get in one region is different than another, based on the economy there. And so they are just trying, it seems like they're out of money. By all indications, it really seems like they've ran out of money somehow. Something happened, or maybe they didn't get as much whatever, but this is giving serious Store Citizen vibes here, where why are they selling all these cosmetics? You can buy a mount skin for $20. You can buy what else do they got? Is that a mount? Oh, it's a mount. Okay, so yeah, you can buy all these mount cosmetics. And one of the other things they've said whenever the game was coming out is that Steven promised that the coolest stuff you could get would be in-game. It wouldn't be from the cash shop. That is clearly not true. So part of it, and I think part of the argument by a lot of people who are really into Ashes of Creation, who have kind of drinking the Kool-Aid, if you will, and I'm not hating. I'm playing the game. I bought in, but a big thing is like Ashes of Creation. When you talk to people, it's in a superposition. It is both a fully launched game and like also still in development. It is both of those things. It is everything all at once. Okay, it is Pandora's game. Okay, it's kind of crazy. So people will say, oh, whenever you talk about the game, like the game just doesn't function. It's just there's just nothing to do. people spend hours and hours just grinding out the same mobs over and over again, and that's kind of all there is to do. A lot of the systems are broken, or just they're so unenjoyable that people aren't, or they don't make sense that people aren't really engaging with them. Just a couple of examples: the flagging for PvP is really not being used, and usually it's just being used to like grief. The travel to caravan system, moving from point A to point B, is generally not being used. You don't see any caravans running around. And those are just a couple of things. All right, there's more. We could go on. So there's not really much to do in the game. So it's not finished in that aspect. And yet they're selling. I mean, this is Star Citizen, right? Like they're selling, cosmetics for a game that isn't really a fully functioning game. I mentioned I've spent probably 10 or 12 hours walking around or riding around the world looking for the rabbit mounts that they like displayed, and there's just so much content that they've showed on past live streams that is not in the game, doesn't seem to exist. And yet, they're also again selling cosmetics of just everything, right? Like, oh, there you go, you got your Voyager Plus pre-order pack for 120, down from 375. Man, if you're one of those people that paid 375, I bet you feel pretty stupid right now. I paid a lot of money. I think it was a couple hundred, and I feel pretty stupid right now. So I say that as one of the people, the idiots that did that, okay? And, I say that idiots, it's like not, it's less that. It really was. So that's the other thing, is that like for people like me, this was an informed decision, okay? I knew when I was spending money on Ashes of Creation like a year ago or whatever it was, maybe a little bit longer. I knew whenever I did that I might be just burning that money. Okay, that might be the case. I might just be completely burning that money. And I did that with my eyes open. Okay, now what is happening with the current state of the game, where they are selling it on Steam? You can call it alpha or whatever. Again, that's the whole thing. It's like it's in a superposition, right? So like people who are really positive about the game will say that, okay, it's not finished, and that's why that's an excuse for everything. But then there's also some stuff going on, like, why are you selling cosmetic items for a game that's not finished? Right? And why are they going back on all these promises they've made? And again, if you're drinking the Kool-Aid, it's in a superposition. So depending on which, if you're like, oh, this stuff isn't, like it's missing all these features. Oh, it's in development. But then it's like also okay to sell cosmetics and everything for a game that is not a full game. I think all this really kind of lends itself to like, there's some problems here, right? Like you can't go here, right? Whatever the world or whatever the city down here is supposed to be, you can't even get there. The other thing that I'll note is that the game looks like trash. It looks like absolute garbage. And, I think if you go look at some other people's streams, you'll see that the game looks a lot better on their screen. And I think what is going on, if I had to guess, and I kind of feel like I do, is that I have an AMD GPU, and so I think the game is maybe just not optimized for AMD GPUs. That is my best guess. But what you're seeing here, where like there's people camping out, are these bots too? These kind of look like bots, because they're dressed the same and they're just standing in the same place. Maybe people are botting because they don't want to like grind up XP. Yeah, there's multiple of them like standing in the same place. So we've already got a bot problem now. That's terrific. And people are literally, so you see these sickly goblins, people are literally just standing here. And this is what we did, early on, is we just stood there and killed the same mob like over and over and over again. That's hilarious. That's what's going on. And of course, I mean, they're not catching these bots. So again, the game is just in a pretty horrible state. It looks like garbage on my screen, to me at least. I think this looks pretty bad. So depending on what GPU you have and system specs, I have a high-end GPU. It's not the money I paid for the GPU. I think it's the brand. So one of many things, right, that is just just not right. And then, I mentioned this before and I criticized it before. Whenever you actually go into the world up here, there are some quests I guess you can do. Guys, it's like the most basic form of like fetch quest. Go do this and come back. And the reason, and those are just to like show you how to, it's like the tutorial and everything like that. The thing is that people would say historically, like, oh, the game is, oh, it's still in development and like that's why it's like that. The game is launched. You can call it an alpha, you can call it whatever the hell you want. They're selling the game to people, to the average consumer. And that's why people are so pissed off, because they expect a fully functioning game. And this is not a fully functioning game. And if they're having these money issues, I don't think, guys, I think it's the beginning of the end. Honestly, I don't think this is going to make it. I know that there are some people that are going to tell me I'm crazy or whatever, but and there is some stuff you can do. Like, some people really like old school games. And if you like, old school RuneScape or whatever, like, sure, go for it. The other thing is like the initial like targeting system is like old school, like tab targeting, click on stuff, whatever. I know you can do action. I don't remember how to do it, and I haven't been able to figure it out again because, again, it's not a full functioning game. It's there. So it feels like a time waste simulator to me. I know some people really enjoy that, I guess, and want to do that. I don't understand it. It's not the game for me, and I just think that the chances of us getting what we really want are they're rapidly dropping to zero. And I know that's going to piss some people off that are think this is the best thing since sliced bread or whatever. And but a lot of the promises that have been made have now been broken. Maybe not a lot, but a decent number. And this is just the current state of the game. And I don't really see that getting a lot better. Now, on the plus side or whatever, if you want to look at the cup half full, Steven et al. And his crew have a really good idea of a game, really good idea for a game, but this is, they're not able to deliver on it. Like it's just like to get my mount, you got to go talk to somebody over here, and then you got to walk to another place, and et cetera, et cetera. It is, so here you go, guys. Here's the questing, or here's what it is. It's really, I don't remember who it is. You got to talk to someone over here. This is so painful that like, I don't think I can bring myself to do this for any length of time. I just don't think I can. And, this is the state of the game. Maybe is this the person? He's the stable master. I hear all this talk of how much better life is going to be out here in Vera, but horseshit still stinks like horseshit, same as back on Sanctus. Oh, that's terrific. Yeah, it does stink of horseshit. That is true. So, yeah, this is the current state. This looks really bad to me. I have the graphics turned up, just so you guys know. It's not that I don't have the graphics turned up high. Graphics quality ultra, everything's on epic. Yeah. So this is the current state of Ashes of Creation, and I just don't think we're going to get anything near what everybody had hoped for. It's kind of wild how horrible this looks. It really is. It's bad. This is really bad. This does not look like an Unreal game, and it does not look like a 2025, 2026 game. So we could talk about some other stuff, too, about Ashes of Creation. Like the systems and stuff that are supposed to be in play. Actually, I would like to be able to unlock my horse, but maybe I needed to talk to someone up at the top. This is kind of the thing, too. Like, it's just, there's no new player experience. It's the game isn't finished, but they're selling it for $50, Like, maybe I missed the quest up here. Maybe there was someone I was supposed to, maybe I got to do this combat basics things first. Yeah, okay, it's telling me how to swap weapons and, how to use some skills and what have you. Yeah, cool. This is not worth $50. It's not really worth much of anything to me in my mind. It's certainly not the couple $100. It really bugs me. They said that they weren't going to sell the game up front for some sort of cost, right? That's what they said. That's what Steven told us. And then now they're selling it for $50. I think they're out of money. That would be my best guess. I mean, if they're not out of money, then it's like more nefarious. So I'm going to assume the best and assume that out of money is the best situation here. You know, uh, and you know the game is starting this far behind. You know, you really have to ask yourself what are the chances that they can catch up. I mean, I think the answer to that is essentially zero. So if this is the sort of, you know, experience, also these quests, my understanding is that they only go for so long, and then that's it. So this is really all there is to the game. If you go out into the open world, guys, there's nothing out. There's not much out there. Like there are trees and plants and whatever, but as we've seen with Unreal Engine, like you can get most of that stuff relatively quickly. So it kind of feels like it's not quite selling vaporware at this point, but it feels pretty close to it, to be totally honest with you. So yeah, here we go. All right, we're uh oh, is this a fast travel? Do we have a oh okay. Yeah. This is just the most I feel like I'm playing old school RuneScape is what I feel like. You know, it's kind of wild. So this is the current state of the game. I mean, there are some really cool things. Like they've got some decent ideas for skill trees. They've got an idea for a game, but this is kind of really all that we've got right now for the game. So it's in a really it's not in a good place at all. And they are looking at moving into they're going to move into beta. This is supposed to be alpha. It's just insane to me that there's a cash shop in the game right now. And I think one of the problems that they're going to have, because I don't think this was the original plan, at least it's not the plan that they told us. And so what they are trying to do is sell an unfinished product. And before it was like a Kickstarter, right? That was kind of the monetary policy. But now they're trying to sell an unfinished product, an unfinished game. And I don't think that's going to go very well for them. I think what's going to happen is people are going to see this for what it is. They're just going to see that there's not really any content, that it's not really fun. It's just a grind fest. And I know there are people that really pride themselves on like, yeah, I grinded this stuff out for however many hours. But, you know, the coolest things in game, again, they just the promises are falling apart, right? They're falling quite flat. The people who paid 3 times the price for some of this stuff are not going to be feeling particularly great about it. Oh, okay, it's only the top tier that's on. Also, the top tier is on sale for less than the lower tiers. Like even the cash store is kind of broken. That's wild. Yeah. Anyways, guys, you guys have been asking for an update on this. That is my update. It's not a game. It's not really. It's not complete. It's not. I wouldn't recommend anybody buy it. Those of us who did buy it are probably. I mean, people are like running around and checking it out, but I mean, I don't think people are going to be playing for that long. And we already got bots in the game too, so that's lovely. Gotta love that. Chilling over here. I mean, this is the move, like, to bot, because, like, otherwise, people that aren't botting are doing the same thing. They're just standing in one place and killing the same mobs over and over and over again. Like, that's all that's going on. So, oh, these are NPCs. Those are NPCs. Okay. But yeah, it's just kind of wild. I don't know. It's just kind of nuts to me. So. That's the state of Ashes of Creation. It's not very pretty, and I don't think it's going to get prettier. I think that, unfortunately, because they are out of money, at least I presume that they're out of money, that we're not going to get a game. I mean, this is years and years in the making, and I think people are going to see the game for what it is, and they're going to bail on it. So I am not going to be wasting any more of my time on it, at least not in the near future. I will keep an eye on it. I will consider it if more stuff comes out, but as it stands, I'm just not into the unfinished kind of nonsense that we have here. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to let you guys know. So I think what we'll do now is we'll probably hop over and do a little hell diving and maybe play some Soulframe or either Soulframe or Warframe or something else. But I just wanted to give a bit of an update on what was going on, at least my take with Ashes of Creation. You know, there's been a lot of transparency, and I use quotes on the transparency because I really think it's just been marketing. You know, that's why they do the weekly or the monthly live streams and stuff like that is really for marketing. It's not really. I think we've seen that. If you don't know that, that's what it is. That's the whole point. Some of it is yes to keep people up to date, but it's really all about marketing. And I just don't think that there's any chance that we get from here to a completed game. I mean, they're still, again, we're talking about alpha, right? So we expect several betas. So what, we're 2 years out, year and a half at least. I think Steven wanted to get to beta in 2026. I think what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to launch the game with the bare amount of features that they promised, but I mean, they can technically get some of those features in the game and get them out and fulfill those promises, but I think it's going to be pretty hollow when it happens. So anyways, my 2 cents on what I think is going on here. Hope that was helpful. Hope it's catching you guys up. And we're going to go ahead and jump over and play a different game. Play a game that's finished and is enjoyable to play. Just going to make sure this is going to kick you guys over to the new stream. And it will be good. Also, for, you know, I guess a parting thought here for anybody who's like upset about this. I paid several $100 for this game, guys. I'm upset about it too. I'm just telling you the reality of the situation. That's all for as I see it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to kick you over on YouTube.